we are recording.
Back again.
Welcome to the Matt and JD podcast, episode 15.
We are just making quick work, man. Quince, how they
We're officially there.
That's how they say it down in Mexico.
Yes, sir. All right, so those of you joining in, my name's Matt.
I'm JD.
And we got a pretty good cast for you today.
Yeah.
Got a couple different topics, but it's going to be a good one.
I'm excited.
So let's just get started with a little loosen up. Little game time. Cue that intro.
It's game time. It's game time. It's game time. Here we go.
Would you rather, for those of you that have been with us in the weeks past, you know this is our favorite game.
Would you rather? It's a great game.
It is. Are you ready? Are you ready for the first one?
Let's get it.
Would you rather have a clown only you can see that follows you everywhere and just stands silently in a corner watching you without doing or saying anything?
Okay.
That's option one.
Yeah.
Or have a real-life stalker who dresses like the Easter Bunny that everyone can see. Totally random. We're starting off today totally random.
That's honestly so tough because I'll tell you why.
All right.
The clown would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Because honestly, I could probably get over the fact that he's creepy because I just know he's there. He's going to be there.
Yeah.
But I just don't know why. And the fact that I don't know why he's there freaks me out. Like, it just like, what is he? Is he like a being from another universe who comes to kill me? Is he just like my protector? Like, what's going on with this clown? Also,
it doesn't really specify whether this stalker, real life stalker, follows you everywhere.
Yeah.
But I would go with the real life just so other people can kind of help.
Yeah. I feel like I'd just go crazy. I feel like I'm a mental person.
I would feel like I'm losing it.
Yeah. I think about that too. Like a real life stalker dressed as an Easter Bunny, that's a lot scarier than I think a clown. That's just in your imagination.
Wait, so which one are you going with? The Easter Bunny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was.
I thought you were saying that.
I did kind of make the argument for the other one.
Yeah.
But no, just because everyone else can see him.
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
I don't want to be going through this alone. All right, moving on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you rather have a completely automated home or a self-driving car?
What is a complete? Like, is it? It was a movie back then. I remember watching it. It was like, it's almost like an Alexa, but a house. Like you'd be like, all right, Alexa, can you pour me a glass of water?
That's what I'm assuming it is. Yeah. Like you don't have to cook or anything. Like it's just everything's there.
Right.
You tell it to do something, it does it.
Based off that movie alone, because in that movie, spoiler alert, the house goes haywire. I'd probably pick the car.
What movie is this? Do you know the name?
Dude, I don't. I think they even made an episode of Scooby-Doo about this too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been done
first.
before.
He's basing his "Would you rather" answer off of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
All right. So you're going with the house?
I think so. No. I would do the car.
Oh, the car. Yeah. Because you don't want the house.
I mean, obviously the Teslas are beautiful. I want a Tesla.
Yeah. That's tough. I like driving, but at the same time, like long car rides would be really nice if I didn't have to drive.
You drive 45 minutes to university.
Ooh, yeah.
Imagine just a nice cruise control.
I could just take a nap the whole time.
Yeah.
Would I feel safe though?
Well, yeah. It wakes you up when you take a nap.
Does it?
Yeah, Tesla's crazy. Like if essentially you're falling asleep because you have to put some input into the car.
All right. Well, I'm assuming this self-driving car is completely independent of itself.
Just take a train.
If there was a train that went right from my house to Bridgewater, then yeah, it would.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I'm going with the car. You're going with the car.
Why though?
Just because I don't know. I mean, I'm not scared of the house per se. I don't mind doing things at the house. I feel like I'd be more productive if I had that time in the car where I didn't have to pay attention.
Yeah. I just don't like the house because I feel like it's like somebody's watching over you. Even though it's a robot, it's almost like someone.
I mean, we see the Alexas like laughing every now and then.
Exactly.
What's the house going to do?
Oh, geez.
It's going to kill you.
Yeah.
All right. Last one of the day.
Hit me with it.
Where was it?
You bottled it. Oh.
Here we go. And we've talked about this a lot. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Would you rather work very hard at a rewarding job or hardly have to work at a job that isn't rewarding?
It's so easy.
So easy.
I would definitely work hard for a more rewarding job.
Absolutely. And even if you take this a step further and you're like, would you rather work very hard at a rewarding job, like a job you love that you didn't make a lot of money?
Yeah.
I would still choose that one.
Of course, because at the end of the day, I feel like that's what humans are almost designed to do. Is they're designed to work hard and go for an end goal. And that's exactly what this is. I mean, it's a satisfaction that you put so much time and energy into something that makes it so special.
And we can get deep for a second. If you look at this, if you look at every person on this planet, we're all striving for happiness and fulfillment, right?
Yes.
Everybody gets that in different ways. There's the occasional person that only gets it from money, And for them, maybe they want a job that they don't like just so that they can get a lot of money.
Right.
But for a lot of us, it's not. And, a rewarding job that we actually care about, even if we have to work hard, it won't feel like we're working hard. You know what I'm saying?
No. It means the world of difference.
Yeah.
It's night and day because if say you just walk into a job, this goes for like kids who are entitled and just get everything handed to them.
Yep.
It's almost like they never feel satisfied because they're just handed it, so like they never have to work for anything.
Yeah.
So they don't get that appreciation and that satisfaction of actually getting something.
Grinding for it.
If you work hard towards something and you actually, graft towards it, you're gonna be so satisfied and be like, this is what I made.
And I mean, it's a huge problem because these, rewarding jobs, the ones that make you happy are like the dream jobs.
Right.
And as a society, we just make it seem like those are so unobtainable.
Yeah.
When the reason it's so unobtainable is as kids, we're taught that you need this, awful job that's going to get you a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not taught the things, like yes, you can achieve these dreams. And I'm not saying that, every teacher needs to walk up to a kid and say, "Yes, you can be a professional athlete." No, but tell them they can be if they do this, 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 and this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If they work out 6 days a week and do this 6 days a week, you know what I'm saying? Like
the thing with achieving like dreams, quote unquote, is I think the pattern really is super simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like the template's there. This is like guaranteed if you do all these things but put your 100% effort into them.
Yep.
Most likely it's going to happen. The problem is not everyone has the drive and determination to give 100% to those things.
Absolutely.
And that's why you don't see people succeed as much as the athletes or the whoever that achieves their dreams.
And just to add on to that, because there is a certain level of talent that you need, right? If you want to become a musician, right? You need a certain amount of talent and skill in music, or if you want to become, a professional athlete, there is some talent that you need. But one thing is like, say you don't have the talent, right? There's still so many job opportunities in the field that you love that like you're just not introduced to, like if you want to be an actor, right? But you're just not good at acting, film, so many jobs in film, directing, producing stuff like writing, like stuff like that, again, is taught to be unobtainable and unreliable. When like, why are we doing that? If you like music, but you're just not the best singer, go into music production. You don't have to sing.
Yeah, and the problem with those jobs is for people, there's not an immediate gratification. So like when you get into those careers, say you want to become a producer, well, it's not like not like accounting where you can just go apply for a job.
Exactly.
And you got it. You got to like make content on your own, start from the bottom, get noticed by somebody, or have a portfolio that you can show somebody, then get that job. And it's not guaranteed. You have to actually work towards that. Meanwhile, with accounting, you just apply for a job, you got it.
Well, I mean, it's not.
You have to go into college and stuff, but it's not the same where you need like a portfolio. Like, here's all the
There's
accounting.
more of a demand for
tax.
accountants than there is for, jobs like that. But also, it's like you have to decide by the time you graduate high school, say you want to be a producer, a music producer, right? You have to decide leaving college that you're either going to devote 100% of your time to teaching yourself, which is extremely hard. It's doable, but very hard. Or, you need to decide to go to a music school, which that in itself is a risk because what jobs are you going to get out of that? But we view it as a risk because we're taught that it's a risky thing, We're not taught that it's actually possible if you put in, this amount of work.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's just, it's completely backwards.
It's messed up.
Yeah. But
that was deep, man.
That was deep.
That was
This
deep
all
for a
started with
would
Would you rather question.
Wow. I feel like this always happens with us.
Well, that's gonna wrap up Would You Rather. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed that
that motivational
little
talk.
bonus content you got in the Would You Rather.
Hopefully, you can walk through walls after that talk.
I hope so. All right. So we are moving on to sad news that came out. I believe it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday, I believe.
The Notre Dame fire. You want to explain what that was?
Yeah, very sad. The Notre Dame Cathedral. It's in France, and it's been there since 1200 AD.
It's old.
Yeah. So that just a fun fact. That was there before the bubonic plague.
Wow.
So just to put that into perspective.
That building survived the bubonic plague.
Yeah, it's crazy. and it has tons of artifacts from way before it was even built,
Yep.
and it's stored there. It also serves as a cathedral, obviously for the Catholic religion, and it's sad. It just burnt down. We have no cause of the fire.
We've been looking it up. I mean, we've been talking to people, and from what we hear, there's been no cause.
We
no
haven't seen
direct
cause.
You know, like
Yeah.
this very specific thing.
As of yet, at
Yeah.
the time we're recording the podcast now.
It's very early
Yeah.
that we're recording it, so we don't know yet. But yeah,
To our knowledge, I think a couple of spires burnt down, like the top of the spires, which were always like what it was like kind of known for, so beautiful.
because you could see it from so far away.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, it just held years and years of history. A lot of it burned down. Pretty sad, honestly. And it's sad because it's human achievement, and that's been there for literally a millennium. So
it's a monument, you know. It's,
yes.
it's just such a big piece of their culture, you
Yeah.
know,
I
and
know.
that everyone knows.
Yes.
like it's so well known.
that's like if like I don't know, let's say the Eiffel Tower just
Yeah.
disintegrated, or let's say the Colosseum of Rome just collapsed and it was just rubble.
Yeah.
It's
That's
sad.
like, did you see the video of the tower actually falling down?
I did.
It's so sad, and I mean, not on the scale of it, but like that's like the World Trade Center's watching that fall. Like,
Yes.
it's and hearing the screams and stuff. It's crazy. It's so sad.
And it's weird because unlike 9/11, it was like there was really no human risk to it, in the sense that I think everyone was safe from the fire. It was just a matter of putting it out. But it was just sad, the fact that like that time period from all the way back, our human like us as a world, we built that Notre Dame tower, and it's just destroyed. Years and years of history destroyed.
There are some positives that come out. One thing is that the main centerpiece is still standing.
The
It's
altar.
still there. The altar.
That's
There
what
we
it is,
go.
yeah.
That's what I was looking for. But yeah, that's still standing. And it's just some of the pictures are like magical. The look of, you know, the rubble around it, but that's still, you know, the cross is still standing. So that was a pretty cool picture.
And I don't even think this is really a religious thing too. It's not like, it's so cool because it's religion. It's just like human.
It's just
human excellency.
architecture and achievement and art all together. But yeah,
It's poetic.
so that's one positive. Another positive is I don't know if it was one firefighter or multiple that ran in.
Some people,
Not even to save people, but to save artifacts.
Yes.
You know, old ancient artifacts
Yeah.
that are so important to the history and
Right.
culture.
And like I said, those dated back way before the
Yeah.
Notre Dame was even
Yep.
built. So crazy.
yeah, so that was awesome. And this one is super awesome, and it's the European billionaires. A couple of them are all chipping in to donate to rebuild. Like they already said that they came together and they already pitched in the money and to rebuild the
It
cathedral.
was like 638 million or something
like that. Yeah.
Crazy money.
Yep.
I'm glad because it's obviously, like I said, human achievement, and us as a world, that's huge. It's sadly though, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah. Of course it's not, you know. It's still history broken.
I went to St. Paul. Yeah, it was St. Paul's Cathedral in England, and most of it is intact from when it was built. I forgot when it was built, but it's an old building, and you know, beautiful artwork. The way the architecture is amazing, and I know one part of, was it St. Paul's Cathedral? Now that I'm thinking about it, no, I'm sorry, I lied. It's not St. Paul's Cathedral. It's Downton
Abbey.
Westminster Abbey. That's what
I was
it
gonna
is.
say Downton Abbey's the TV
Listen,
show.
I'm bottling it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's
yeah.
Westminster Abbey.
Yeah.
It's a church basically, and it's where a lot of the famous people in England were buried. There's like a bunch of kings and princes, and
I think that's where the royal weddings were.
yes, it's also that
Yeah.
where the royal weddings are as well. And it's beautiful in there.
Yep.
And there's a section of it. I think it was like a room, like a choir room almost. It burnt down, so they had to rebuild it. But in a sense, you could still capture the magic of it.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be the same thing with this. Like, it's not the original, but I think they'll redesign it to the fact where it's like you can still relive it in a sense.
Plus, there's still going to be pieces of it that are the same. You know, like the altar itself is still there. So, like, there'll still be big monumental pieces that are there.
Oh, of course. I'm sure not all of it's destroyed, like we said. I think it's just the top parts mainly.
Yeah. One thing we want to touch upon, though, is you saw a tweet.
Yeah, I saw a tweet, and this just goes for anything really, not just this thing, but basically it was a tweet. It was a tweet where I saw that the billionaires were pledging money to rebuild this. It was like 638 million. And someone quoted it and basically was saying, well, isn't that nice, and basically like saying Puerto Rico needs money, and I'm glad, like almost like sarcastically saying it,
Yeah.
so that like kind of taking away from that tragedy. And the thing is, I wholeheartedly agree with this person that Puerto Rico needs more funding, and what's happening in Puerto Rico is ridiculous. Like it shouldn't even happen in this day and age. But I just don't think taking a tragedy and then also trying to like take away from that tragedy and make it your own is necessarily the best thing to do.
I mean, you can't compare tragedies. Like, you can't take the light away from one to put it on the other, because that's just defeating the purpose, you know?
Yeah.
You're trying to make it seem like what they're doing is wrong, but really what you're doing is wrong by trying to shed light on a separate tragedy. You know, we need to shed light on all tragedies. And like we were talking about before, if this was something like the billionaires were spending their money on sports cars, planes, parties, sports, teams.
Yeah. Anything that doesn't have to do with helping a tragedy.
Then you can argue like, okay, let's put our money towards the greater good and give it to Puerto Rico. Okay. But no, this is about giving money to rebuild this monument, this piece of history. So let's not take away from that.
Yeah.
You know, let's be nice. Let's all be peaceful. And I mean, it goes along with like, comparing yourself to others. Like, never do that. Just don't compare things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't.
Like, everything kind of stands alone. If you have an opinion, that's fine. You know, we live in a day and age where everything is opinionated. Share your opinion, but don't tear down other people and other things, and other acts, of kindness. It's just not.
I think there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that was the time for it. It definitely needs a place and it needs to be talked about. But it just wasn't the place to shed light in that.
Not.
And
it was the wrong time for sure.
That's like if someone's house burnt down and they barely got any money to help, but then someone else's house burned down somewhere in the town, but then someone pledged to like, help them rebuild their house, and someone's like, well, hey, my house burnt down. What's up? That's not right.
Like, screw them. Give me the money. Like, you wouldn't say that.
It's like, yeah, your tragedy's bad, and of course we should do everything to see how we can help you.
Yeah.
But don't take away from that person because they had a tragedy too.
Yeah, and it's also a sense of these are European billionaires, right? And I'm not saying this is right, but like that's their home, Like they're rebuilding a piece of their history, their culture. Don't get mad at them for not dishing out the money to Puerto Rico when, yes, maybe they should donate some. But one thing is, we also don't know if they did. Maybe they did.
That's true.
You can't just start jumping to conclusions. There's been a lot of fundraisers for Puerto Rico. So we just don't know. So, I mean, everyone just needs to chill.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Definitely. So I hope Notre Dame is built, and I hope Puerto Rico gets the aid they deserve.
Yes, absolutely. With that, we're moving on.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about this kid.
Dude, yeah, I know.
We got a little personal story here.
So back in the day, back in history class, I used to learn about the great strikes, Henry Ford and all the other factory workers that went on strike with the union.
Screw the creation of the union.
Yeah, screw those companies trying to give us unfair working conditions.
Yeah.
I never thought that at the age of 20, I'd be living that very scene.
So a little backstory: this kid over here works at a grocery store in our area.
Stop and Shop. It's a known company.
Yeah, it's a big chain, and it also Stop and Shop owns a lot of other grocery stores as well. So they're getting even bigger.
The official company name is Ahold Delhaize. They're based out of Netherlands, but they own a bunch of like you said, a bunch of different grocery stores.
And they're doing very well financially.
$2 billion profit,
which is insane.
$2 billion.
$2 billion profit, and what are they doing? They made some changes.
So I believe it's every year or every few years, a new contract for the workers is negotiated. So basically, it's like, what are we going to get for benefits and all this other stuff? Each year they've tried to take a little bit away, but it's been like whatever, we'll give some, we'll get some. This year they try to take so many things away. Like if you're a full timer, 75% of the pension you've been working towards is going to get cut out.
Yep.
Paid holidays, vacation. They're going to minimize that supremely. They want to take away raises and add bonuses, but then expect you to pay more into healthcare each week. So basically,
that's one of the big ones was the healthcare one there. Like such a large percentage. Do you know the exact numbers? It went from like 10% to like 75% of your paycheck goes to your.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous change.
I don't even understand why you'd even want to work there.
Yeah.
Sundays. I know not all states have this, but Sundays wouldn't be time and a half anymore.
Yeah.
Which is like.
Come
on.
Just as a side note, I know places like mine, like where I work, what we're doing is as minimum wage is rising, because if you don't know Massachusetts, I don't know if it's nationwide. I know Massachusetts
no,
is
it's just
rising.
Massachusetts right now.
Yeah, I just don't know if other places are rising.
Oh,
I
I
know
see,
not
I
as
see,
much
I
as us. But we just moved up our minimum wage to 12. It used to be, what, 11?
11. Just 11.
Was it exactly 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it moved up to 12. And as it moves up, because it's going to gradually each year move up to 15. Once we get, in 5 years, it'll reach 15. And so with each year it rises, the time and a half on Sundays is going to go down 10%. So I'm, timing 40% on Sundays.
That's fair enough.
But it's different.
Yeah, that's fair
different
enough.
companies, Like
Yeah.
my company decided to do that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Your company just tried to take it away completely.
They just
right?
they just wanted to wipe everything.
Yeah.
And like the union, which I'm a part of, because all the people at Stop and Shop that be part of the union, they were like, listen, we're willing to give up some things, but you got to help us here. Like, we don't want to get rid of this healthcare and all this other stuff. We need to. Honestly, the union was just trying to keep everything as is.
Yeah.
Because they made a $2 billion profit. If the company was
Yeah.
hurting, they'd be like, okay, but they made a profit, so they just want to keep the contract. Like,
And
we
that's a
don't- we
big
don't-
thing.
yeah.
You're not fighting for
More.
crazy raises.
No.
Like nothing reachable.
No, we
you
just
know?
want to keep everything how it is. Everything's going good. They made $2 billion.
Exactly.
It's going good. They just had remodels.
Yeah.
They got new robots. Like, it's cool, But they said no, they didn't want to negotiate, and basically the union called a strike. And I've been on strike for almost a week now,
Yeah.
and it's
And
weird.
Easter is coming up. When you guys hear this, Easter will be tomorrow.
Yeah, actually.
And-
I might be back to work by then. I don't know. Hopefully.
But what they're saying, right? Because Easter is obviously huge for a grocery store.
Oh, it's the second biggest day in Stop and Shop sales. I
Yes.
think Thanksgiving is first. I thought it would have been Christmas, but
Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess Christmas.
second maybe.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Christmas probably has a little bit more time leading up, but then again, for groceries, not really. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. I don't know.
But anyways,
Thanksgiving, Easter, second biggest day.
so they're scrambling to get this done before Easter.
Well-
But if it doesn't,
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're scrambling.
Yeah.
I think the union is more trying
Yeah.
to do it, because I feel like if they don't do it before Easter, there's no really major holiday.
incentive to
Yeah.
like get going on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy though, because if you consider, I heard they lose like $20 million
$20
a
million
day.
a day,
Yes,
which
because no one's
is a
working.
lot.
No one's working in the stores, except some
Yeah.
stores have scabs, which are people just
Yeah.
go in. Other stores shut down for the time being, and the other stores people just won't shop in it because obviously we're on strike.
yeah.
I don't know why as a business, right? If you're making a $2 billion profit and the contract that the workers have it didn't really hurt the company that bad. They made $2 billion.
Yep.
Why would you want to lose like $20 million a day? And we've
That's
been
the-
on strike for almost 5
That's
days.
the thing. Like 20 million, even to a company that's profiting 2 billion, is a lot a
Yeah.
day. Like
Yes.
that's insane. I mean, you said you've been on strike for a week. That's already 140 million dollars.
Yes.
Like that's crazy. Why not? And like if the union was asking for a ridiculous amount of money, right?
That's different.
like stupid raises, then yeah, there's gonna be fight back and forth. There's gonna be negotiations. But like you guys are asking for the same thing.
Exactly.
I
Just
really
don't take
see what
anything.
the problem is.
Please don't take
And on
anything.
their part, Easter coming up, like you said, biggest sales. Why aren't you scrambling to get this
Yeah.
done? It
And
really
their-
doesn't make sense.
And their stock went down.
Yeah.
It's weird. Honestly, just taking a step back, like from all that negotiation stuff, just the point of being on strike is just so weird.
Yeah.
Like you just show up and you're just like in the parking lot, in the entrance of the store, and you're just with a sign, you just sign
Yeah.
in and
Just screaming.
you just scream and stand there, try to get the people going.
You bought a megaphone though, right?
I did, honestly.
Yeah, because this kid shows up to my house the other day after his first day of striking with no voice.
Yeah, I was just
like,
going
I'm
wild.
like, dude, we have a podcast to do. You can't be doing this.
That's why I bought a megaphone.
Yeah.
My vocals are good.
Yep. He's all back. But what's crazy too is the money you're making is extremely low during this.
Of course.
This strike.
Honestly, it won't affect me too bad. I'm a part-timer. I'm a
Yeah.
college. I'm probably getting half my paycheck for
Yeah.
this, for what I get on strike.
But the
what-
problem is you're making the same as the full timers.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
the full-time, and there's some full-timers that both, like their spouse also works at Stop Shop full-time,
Yeah.
and they're not getting money either.
So that's a struggle.
They have a family. So if
Yeah.
this lasts more than a week, they're kind of screwed.
And what really bugs me, because besides JD, I also have a family friend that works at Stop and Shop, and she works full time. The thing that bugs me is she told me there's no retro pay. So
No.
retro pay, if you don't know, is when they go back to work, they'd get paid for all the days that they've been on strike, right? And they would get a big check. That's not happening.
No.
So there's it's really hurting you guys.
Oh, of course.
And more so the full timers, like you said. Yeah.
They because they have families and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that annoys me is people. I don't know. They say like those full timers should just get better jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, dude, like, it. As that's what I say for low skilled labor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't expect people to, if they think they're gonna go in low skilled labor and buy Lamborghinis and Ferraris and say we should be paid as much to get that. No, but you should be paid in a low skilled job enough to at least live minimally.
Mm-hmm.
And those low skilled jobs, yes, they're low skill, but they also require skill.
Yeah. Oh,
They're-
yeah. I was gonna say that.
You know what I mean?
I mean, these low skilled jobs, like at Stop and Shop, you have a florist, right? I
Yeah.
couldn't do that. No chance I could do that.
No chance.
It's an art.
Yeah.
It's literally an
and you gotta
art.
deal
know
with
what I'm saying?
customers. Like,
Yeah.
not everyone's good with customer service.
Not everyone has people skills.
No, grocery especially. Grocery is honestly closer to manual labor than you think. Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking around 2,000-pound pallets sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm putting heavy stuff up. Like, you gotta. It's not construction, but it's still
Plus,
something.
everyone has a different skill set. I work at a sporting goods store, and I have coworkers that run circles around me when it comes to selling shoes. Like, they're just so good at their people skills and stuff like that. And I'm in accounting. I'm good at math. Like, everyone just has different skills.
Of course.
But some people in these low skilled jobs are
Yeah.
so highly skilled at them. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Of course,
You know?
and you're just like, wow, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I can just. It's just night and day difference how skilled they are compared to you at this.
Yeah, and like you said before, how it's not going to buy you Lamborghinis, but I mean, it's been proven that like these wages aren't supporting the living costs.
Oh, minimum,
And
yeah.
that's why the whole argument of like this fight for 15 moving up to $15 minimum wage is such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, people that say find a better job. I mean, you just need to take a step back. Everyone has a different life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of
like
course.
everyone has crazy life experiences where maybe they went to college and maybe something, family emergency
Mm-hmm.
or maybe something, I don't know, grade wise, they just couldn't keep it up and they didn't have the money to go back. They have to rely on these low skilled jobs. And I put that in quotes, but I mean,
Well, the craziest thing is too, is these people. I don't want to say they love their jobs, but if they're happy, then let them be happy.
Mm-hmm. I know. Why are we judging people on what, they want to
Yeah.
do with their life?
These jobs you need grocery workers.
Yeah.
You need these people. Like, get better jobs with. You
Mm-hmm.
need this.
And I mean, we always maybe college just isn't for these people. You know what I'm saying?
No, especially
And that's not a
especially
problem at all.
The generations past.
Yeah.
It was almost impossible, especially if you're from lower income areas,
Mm-hmm.
almost impossible for parents and stuff to go to college and do
Yep.
this stuff. They're trying to provide for their kid to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
And
it's messed up.
And for people that don't, like I was saying, that don't want to go to college, why do we pressure them to go to college just to waste money? When because they're not motivated, because maybe that's just not their skill,
Yeah.
they're just going to waste all this money because either they drop out, they fail out, or they get through it all, but they just don't do anything with that degree.
And the thing I'll say with this low skill job too is, honestly, at least in this company I've seen, there's been 2 people that have started at Stop and Shop that I've worked with. Like, I didn't work with them, but they were my managers. They started as baggers and like produce
Exactly.
clerks. One of them's the head manager of the store, making 6 figures.
Yeah.
As a head manager
Yeah.
of the store, and another one's like a bargaining, so he like bargains like shelf space and stuff, also making 6 figures.
I know.
So he was down there and he worked himself up.
And
you know?
it's like, again, we call it low skilled workers, but like you can easily move. Well, I don't want to say easily because they grind at this, but they move up to corporate positions and move even higher. And the job experience they get brings them on to different jobs and different opportunities and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just, I feel like a lot of people that call this low skilled work, you know what I'm saying? They're just looking at it with an outside view because they think they're big,
Oh, of course,
big and
contracts.
bad because they go to college and get a white collar job that they hate, and they're depressed for the rest
They're
of their
accounting.
life. Yeah,
or like they're
making
in the
6
office.
figures. They're making like $60K right out of college, except they hate their life
The job is
and
boring as
they just get home from work and watch Netflix and cry every night.
Yeah.
Which is what I do during college.
Right.
but-
Like, how much better is really your life?
I know it's
Think about it.
we're people base life happiness off money way too much.
Oh, of course.
And it's so bad. There's such an imbalance of happiness and money in the world, and it's just crazy.
That's stuff.
This can be a topic for another time.
I
We could talk about this for hours.
guess the last thing I'll say about
Yeah.
my strike is I never realized how many weird things happen outside my store.
Like, what do you mean?
Like today's we're just on strike, you know.
Like the
just,
community kind of interactions outside your store. Yeah.
Like I'm just chilling, you know, on strike,
Mm-hmm.
you know, waving, cheering the people, beeping them on. This girl just comes over, leather jacket, boots, whatever. I don't care. But she's talking to a group of girls over in the corner that work with me, and I noticed something like crawling on her, and it's like white. I'm like, excuse, like what is that? And I see it's a freaking rat, and she's just parading her rat like here's my rat.
It's a pet rat.
Yeah, and it's
Nice.
like I mean all power to you, but where'd you come from, and why is this rat here?
Why is there a rat crawling on your arm?
Yeah, like what's going on here? And there's been crazy other other stories. I really can't mention for legal reasons, but
But he's seen some things
Yeah.
that he can't unsee.
honestly, the one thing I'll say is there's a lot of people supporting the store, especially regulars.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also been some very hostile people.
Yeah.
Like people get really offended when people go on strike.
Mm-hmm.
There's been people that have threatened to hit people with batons, like physical batons.
At your store?
Yes, at my store.
Wow.
Like some guy just said there was like don't shop here, and he was like don't yell at me, and he's like we're not just don't shop here, and he like pulled out a baton, and I guess because he felt threatened.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
There was another guy that would happen to like a group somewhere else.
Yeah.
There was a guy with us. We were like give us a honk just because trying to get the morale up.
Yeah.
And he just gave us one of these. I was like,
What?
bro, I'm just on strike
Is that
here.
a threat?
Yeah.
Is that a threat?
And then some guy, because we can legally walk across the entrance for 90 seconds.
Mhm.
That's like the legal thing. And some guy wanted to go in, and I guess one of my dairy managers, this was in the morning,
Mhm.
he said, he asked him if he wanted to die because like he was like blocking
People
the
need to
entrance.
chill.
And I was like, dude, and people say like, go get a job, like get back
Yeah.
to work. And I know they're just trying to rile up, but the other
Yeah.
things like, dude, that's just unnecessary.
I know. Let's just be nice, please.
My God.
Everyone's standing up for something in this world. Let's just at least hear them out.
I know.
Some people are completely wrong about what they stand up
Of
for
course,
in this world.
of course.
But I mean, fighting for proper benefits and stuff.
It's more. I hate to say it, but it's more the old people. Not
Yeah.
all. Not all old people are bad because there's been plenty of
Yeah.
supporting us. But
Yep.
I hate to say it. It's like the miserable poor people, like old people that really.
I saw a video on Facebook of a guy that used to be a part of the Stop and Shop union.
Oh, it was Ray Bork.
Yeah.
He's a famous hockey player.
Is that who it was?
Yes.
Was that in Fairhaven?
No, I don't know if it was somewhere in Mass.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So he was
Bork.
going in, and everyone was like, "Are you serious?
Yeah.
You used to be a part of this."
He was a union leader.
That's terrible.
Even worse.
That's terrible. Talk about
Yeah.
just not sticking with what you believe.
He put out a
Like,
big
that's just-
apology afterwards, but like
I don't care.
You kinda
See,
did it
The thing
already.
is, like, you can't even excuse it by saying, "Okay, well, this is convenient. I have to go here."
Yeah.
Like, there's so many stores everywhere.
Exactly.
Like, for instance, Stop and Shop also has gas. A gas station.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I always gas up.
Yeah.
It's because it's right next to my house. It makes sense. But you know what? Tonight, after work, I went across town, gassed up somewhere else.
Right.
Like, it's not that hard.
And especially, like you said, it's especially worse because he was a union leader
Yeah.
and he knows like that's like
Exactly.
super unacceptable.
Like, he was fighting for it at one point, and now, no. Like, he just, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That is terrible.
So nonetheless, it's interesting.
Yeah.
We'll
let's
see how it
let's leave
goes.
it this. If anyone is striking near you, support them. Don't cross the picket line.
Yeah.
And honk your horns. Honk your
yeah,
horns when
right.
when they go by.
Screw the big corporations, okay?
Yeah.
Those big corporations don't care about this little guys, the little people here.
Yeah.
Support the people
All they
on the
care
ground.
about is this thing called their gross profit margin.
Yes.
That's all
Accounting
they care about.
nerd right
Which is important for a business, but
Yes.
you also need to pay attention to the workers' rights before it comes to that gross profit margin.
Right.
That's very important.
Exactly.
Or else you lose $20 million a day. What are you doing? Stop and Shop. Let's go. But yeah, anyways, honk at them because they love it.
We love
I
honks,
did it this
honestly.
morning at 6 a.m. I was like, ooh, should I do it? It's
Yeah.
early. And I was like, you know what? They're standing out
Dude,
there. I'm going to do it.
It gets the crowd going.
I know. They got all
Yeah.
ramped up. And I was like, I went by. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
They were all gassed up.
Gets the crowd
I
going.
felt good. It was a good start to my day. All right, but we are moving on.
Definitely.
We got a segment for you guys. It's a That's What I'm Talking About.
Let's go.
Let's cue that intro.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so the MLB season is back upon us. Don't look at my hat. We're not doing so well. But Yeah, but there is a team that's doing very well. The Milwaukee Brewers, who have Christian Yelich, who is the reigning NL MVP.
Wow.
He is a very talented player, and I
Okay.
like him because he's very cool and composed. You
Yeah.
know, he's not like one of those showboating. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
very humble, very quiet. And so a little girl went to the game with her family. It was her first Brewers game, and she held up a sign that said, "Christian Yelich, if you hit a home run, my dad's gonna buy us a puppy." Too cute, right?
Yeah.
But that stuff like that, people bring signs like that all the
Yeah.
time. They never hit the home run. It's
Yeah.
gonna. Oh yeah, no, he hit a home run. He hit a bomb. He hit an absolute bomb.
Yeah, it was a bang.
So the dad's gonna buy him a puppy, right? Is that the end of the story?
In most cases,
Yeah.
that would be the end of the story.
It's like, oh, happy they got a puppy. No,
No,
He
this-
takes it a step further.
Yes.
He buys the puppy for them.
Yes.
brings
Insane.
them onto the field before the next game, and gives them the puppy.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, that
That's
is
just
what-
being
that
a
is what
nice
I'm talking
freaking
about.
person.
Yeah, it's just so simple. It's such a
Yeah.
simple thing, right?
Yeah.
He's an athlete. He makes a lot of money.
Makes it a ridiculous amount of money.
It's the fans. They're supporting you.
Yep.
It's just such a nice gesture to do. I love seeing things like that.
And the best thing too is that's a memory that those kids are gonna have for life.
Of course.
And that dog is part of their family now.
Yeah.
Imagine that story they can tell people.
know.
Oh, where'd you get this dog? What kind of
Right.
dog is it? Oh, Christian Yelich, the NL MVP, got us this dog.
Well,
Like, that's
it's
pretty
super
sick.
important too because that little act of kindness
Yeah.
that Christian Yelich did could literally send ripples into those kids' lives.
Absolutely.
Because they, for the rest of their life, they have that positive, that idea of positivity and kindness that they could spread it to
Exactly.
their whole life.
Pay it forward.
You know what I'm saying? That's awesome from him.
Very
honestly.
sad movie. Pay it forward. But
Wow, we watched
but
that in
anyways,
6th grade.
we
man.
did. I feel like we were a little too young for that.
Yeah, he got stabbed.
But,
I was kind of
yeah.
sure. I was like, he got
Spoiler.
stabbed?
Spoiler. He got stabbed.
I mean, I'm sure most middle schools have watched.
Yeah. I remember there's a sex scene in that movie, and
Yeah,
like,
there
my,
was. We had to sign up.
we watched in homeroom, and my homeroom teacher was like, "All right, everybody, block your eyes," and we were all like, "We're in 6th grade." But then it was super awkward, like just sitting there with your homeroom teacher.
Yeah, I don't think that was the best option for them to do.
I don't think so. And it was like a school-wide thing, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all watched it
Yeah.
together. And I feel like it maybe should have been saved for like the 8th graders. I don't know if we were ready for that.
Yeah, that was.
All right,
God,
but
yeah.
anyways, Christian Yelich, great guy.
My man.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
And everybody pay it forward in some way.
Don't get stabbed though.
All right. Don't get stabbed. All right, we're moving on to our last topic of the day. We're just brief. We're talking about just this. I don't know. It's kind of a popular. I don't know though. We like it. I don't really think anybody else does. It's this thing called Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
snooze fest. Ugh.
What? Have these kids ever talked about Game of Thrones? Yes, a lot, and we're never gonna stop.
So much that we dedicated an entire podcast to it.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. That's episode 14. But anyways, Game of Thrones, we're not going to get into too much detail because we're actually going to record another video, and that'll actually be out before this. So if you're listening to this now, go check out our Game of Thrones episode 1 recap.
Yes,
We're going to dive super deep into it.
absolutely.
But we just kind of wanted to, brief, like, opinions. What'd you think? First episode, we watched it together. Craziness.
Yeah, it was craziness.
Yeah.
Honestly, I heard people saying that it was boring.
Mm-hmm.
Boring for who, bro? The whole time I was just like, what? Like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. Like all the and the thing is, it wasn't crazy in the sense like, oh my god, this guy got his like
Yeah.
head chopped off,
There was no gore, really.
or this battle happened. It was more
Yeah.
like all the plot lines and all the stories that have been so like hard written throughout all the seasons just finally came together and meshed together perfectly.
Yes.
And that's why I was just like, whoa.
It was just the perfect setup episode.
Yeah.
It just,
Of course it was.
And I mean, the people, like you said, the people that are saying it's boring, they're just there for the fights. They're there for the.
If they had-
maybe they're there for the incest. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah,
There wasn't
right.
really any incest that episode, or was there?
I mean, we don't know.
There kind of was.
Yeah, in a way.
Just a little though. Just a for on a Game of Thrones standard.
Yeah.
It was very little.
It was really minuscule.
Still kind of a lot. Jon Snow made out with his aunt, but hey.
Hey, you know, spoiler alert.
Yeah. But
I just think if they didn't do that episode the way they did,
Yeah.
the story would be too messy.
Yep.
Like they literally cleaned up the story well.
Absolutely. And for those of you watching this before episode 2 is probably going to be another setup episode.
Probably half and half.
It's going to be a little bit more detailed, but I think we're still not going to see the battle. Battle's going to take place in episode 3.
I believe so.
In my opinion. They don't pay me. I'm not on the payroll of Game of Thrones, so I have no idea. We're sitting in my bedroom recording a podcast. I'm not getting paid by Game of Thrones. But yeah, just real quick, I wanted to talk about. It was reported that 17.4 million people watched live last Sunday.
That's crazy. I'd want to know what the statistics are for like sports events. I
Mhm.
know
I
it's
know, like, the Super Bowl.
I don't think
Let me
it.
see if I can look it
It
up.
definitely doesn't beat the Super Bowl or the World Cup.
Yeah, no, definitely not the World Cup. Definitely
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the World Cup.
But it definitely is up there. Like 17.4 million people watching a single show. That's pretty high. That is pretty high. And plus all
I
the
know,
people
and
that are gonna rewatch.
that's
it,
what I was
you
gonna
know what I'm
say.
saying?
This was just live. It doesn't even count streams and stuff like that. You know, people that watched it this week that couldn't watch it live. This is just live.
Right. That's absolutely mad.
Yeah, so it's not even close to the Super Bowl. In 2017, there was 111 million.
Okay.
But still, I mean,
17.4 for a show.
but I
is
mean, the
pretty
Super
crazy.
Bowl is literally a centerpiece of our culture. You know, even people that don't like football go to like viewing parties and watch the Super Bowl. So
yeah,
I
I think like sports is like you can it's like
Yeah.
something you just jump into like, oh, who's
Yeah.
gonna win today?
mean, Game of Thrones is a very specific niche.
Yeah.
But it has grown
Yeah.
immensely.
You can't just watch
but it is pretty
you
specific.
can't just watch season 8 episode 1
Yeah,
and be like
it's not one of those shows.
yeah.
But yeah, no, nonetheless, that's huge.
That's
it
crazy.
broke HBO's record for viewership on a single live episode, and the previous record was held by none other than
Sopranos.
Game of Thrones. I mean, The Sopranos was up there. That was their
Yeah.
biggest show before Game
Sopranos.
of Thrones.
I mean,
never seen it.
me neither, but I heard
Yeah.
it's really good.
I know. I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So just the stats. The episode was crazy. I just can't wait to see the finale. It's got to be bigger, I would think, right, than the opening one. Because here's my thing: everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, the opening is gonna be great, right?" But I don't need to stay up and
Right.
watch it live.
Right.
But the finale, everyone's gonna be like, "I need to find out right now." what
Especially
happens."
after all the events that's going to happen in
Yeah.
season 8. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah, especially the people that were like, "I don't have enough time to catch up," so they're still catching up.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll catch up by the finale. So that could shatter some records.
Yeah.
That might break the HBO single viewing live
could
record
break-
previously held by Game of Thrones.
I wonder what the most for any TV show was.
I don't know. I know Friends. I know it's not like story wise compared to Game of Thrones. It's not even close. But I know the Friends finale was a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I did read that.
I thought something like, I don't know, Walking Dead or Breaking Bad would get up there.
The only thing about Walking Dead is it's not like it hasn't reached a crucial part of the season. I mean, like of the series, where it really hasn't had one episode that would blow the entire
I
nation
think
away.
there was.
What really?
I think back then in the hype, like season 4ish, like I feel people were like the show was like the hottest thing on TV. I think it was even hotter than Game of Thrones at the time.
So I hate to burst your bubble, but Friends Part 1 and 2 ran as one episode, the finale.
Right.
52.5 million viewers tuned in
For Friends?
on the original broadcast.
Don't get me wrong, I love Friends, but I feel like that's so weird.
Think about it though. Friends ran from 1994 to 2004, a 10-year. It was a decade, and it was just like it was one of the major
So
sitcoms.
is that all time or just live? That
the original broadcast live, 52.5 million.
what?
Yeah.
For Friends?
I mean, it was big. Like
If-
we
I
look
mean-
at it. We look at it now on Netflix, and we're like, that's big. Like a lot of people like it, but not too much. But like back then, that was prime. It's kind of like the Office to us, because The Office is more our time
Right.
period. So like, think about it, the finale of The Office.
I guess you could say in a sense, like especially between 1994 and 2004. I mean, that was a time where TV was the most important.
Are you ready for this? The Office finale, 5.7 million.
See, that's why I don't get that. I don't get that. How is The Office worse than Friends?
That was a season high of 5.7 million viewers. Wow.
Maybe The Office just aged like fine wine, because I never watched it on TV. I watched it on Netflix.
That's true.
So maybe
people do say that the sense of humor wasn't really. It didn't take hold
Yeah.
until recently.
So I think maybe like it kind of grew
Yeah,
on afterwards.
that's true.
After its prime.
That's true. Let me see if I can.
It's weird. That is strange to me. Friends really blows my mind, because that's such a big number. Like that's 55. I thought 17.4 million was a lot. That's a lot. 55 million.
I know. Like I
Wow.
said, also one thing to think about. television was still not in its early times, but it was still.
It was at its prime.
Nowadays, how many different TV shows we
No,
got?
you're right.
And everything's in HD, and
No, you're right.
there's how many channels. Back then, it wasn't as much, so more people were watching the same things.
I agree, because there was internet, but not to the level we have now, where we can go on Twitter, Facebook, Netflix. So basically, everyone's entertainment was TV. So I can definitely see why that was more.
Yep.
Plus, people can illegally stream TV now.
Yeah.
It's not, the numbers are all. That's just crazy, man. 55 million for Friends. I feel like Friends wasn't that big.
Okay, see, this is why I don't know if we can trust these studies, because this article says that MASH, do you know the show MASH?
Yes.
It says that holds the record for most views in a single episode at 50.15, and Friends isn't on the list. So,
Well, we have.
like Seinfeld is up there. Friends.
Well, I know Seinfeld is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Like Seinfeld's a show. If you had told me 55 million, I could see, because that's played in all kinds of countries. And it was like, it's.
I mean, you don't know that Friends wasn't though.
But Seinfeld specifically, I know this for a fact, it had a time slot on TV that was like the money. Like if you got put into that time slot, you were guaranteed success.
Yeah.
And it just ran in all kinds of different countries.
Yeah.
And different languages and everything.
So a lot of the on the standings goes to the show Roots and different parts of it.
Roots?
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
This shows the top 20.
Yeah.
And just so you get an idea, 18 through 12 are all Roots, just different parts.
I got to be honest with you. I don't see it. I don't see how Roots. This just blows my
It
mind.
must have just been in that time.
It just blows my mind.
Oh, and there's a Roots at 5. Seinfeld at 4. Dallas at 3.
Dallas was big.
Cheers at 2.
I don't know what
MASH
that is.
at 1. Yeah, where's Friends at though? See, this is I don't know, because this also says MASH at 50.15, but Friends isn't up there, and that said it had 55. So I don't know who we can trust nowadays.
Yeah. Well, regardless, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow, 17.4 million viewers alone is just crazy.
That's just good for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And honestly, I expect the views just to increase.
I would think so.
Throughout each episode.
I
And
mean,
the finale is going to be abysmal. It's going to be like, it's probably going to be up at the 50 mark, I would think.
All the free marketing it gets, like literally the whole timeline on Twitter is always Game of Thrones.
Yep.
I think 18 out of the 20 hashtags that were trending were Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones takes over Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
So the free marketing they're getting is just peer pressuring people to watch it.
Absolutely. And if you're one of the people that are like, I haven't seen a single episode of Game of Thrones and I'm not going to, can you just like
Honestly, it doesn't even make
climb
me.
into a cave and never come out? I don't know.
I feel sorry. I feel so sorry for them.
I know.
Because they don't know what they're missing out on.
And
Like,
this is no dagger at their intelligence or anything. It's just that, like, because everyone has the intelligence to do it, it's just they're so, quick to make an opinion that they probably, like, watched 30 seconds of it and they're like, medieval times, not for me. And I was one of those people. I'm telling you, I'm your friend.
This kid never liked-
Listen to Uncle
never
Matt.
liked that.
Listen to Uncle Mateo here. Just get through it. And it'll be the best decision you ever made, and you'll turn into a nerd just like we are. We nerd out over the show.
Oh my God.
It's crazy
It
how
is
much we
nuts.
nerd out over it.
Because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece.
It's just the best show of all time.
Everyone watches Grey's Anatomy.
GOAT.
Everyone watches all these dramas.
Yeah.
If you want a fucking drama with action and unbelievable scenes you've never seen before, it's this. This is the show you want. This is better than Grey's Anatomy 10
Yep.
times over.
And even if you're a weirdo that likes like incest, this is a show for you. If you're a weirdo that likes people getting their necks slit open, this is the show for you.
If you like dwarfs,
This is the show
if you
for
love
you.
extremely large women,
If you love just people with disabilities or people with bad reputations, not reputations, but bad conditions,
yes.
that shouldn't succeed,
But
they
do.
do succeed. Watch it. It's inspirational if
Right.
you look at it in the right ways. And then you see a sister having sex with her brother for like the 50th time,
And you're like,
it's a little
"Whoa,
weird.
This isn't Alabama. This is Westeros.
But
Come on."
I read this, and this could not be more true. Game of Thrones is the only show that by the end of the series gets you rooting for incest, and you can't tell me that you're not. Jon Snow and Daenerys belong together. They're related. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care.
Game of Thrones is the only show that could do that. That convinces America that incest is okay in this case. It's the only show.
I mean, it happened back then, anyways. Think about it.
It happened.
They dabbled.
I mean, the Targaryens are known for it. They're both Targaryens. Get it on. Let's go. All right, but that is going to do it for us today. We hope you enjoyed. Real quick, like we said, check out our Game of Thrones Episode 1 recap. That'll
Absolutely.
be up by the time you're seeing this.
Follow the socials as well.
Follow the socials, Matt and JD, Instagram and Twitter. Like, subscribe, comment. Comment with your opinions on Game of Thrones. If you like the episode, comment on what you think of the fire and Notre Dame.
Or your
Cathedral.
favorite color. That's okay, too.
That too.
You know?
If you want to comment something random, like, hey, did you guys see that picture of the black hole? We did. So talk to us about it.
Please. We probably should have talked about that.
I
Wow.
just remembered that. Maybe the next one. But there you go. There's your cliffhanger for the next episode. Thanks for joining us. Any final words?
Love Notre Dame. Hope everything goes good there. Puerto Rico. Hope it goes good there.
Absolutely.
And Friends. What's up with that?
I mean, don't hate.
I love Friends,
Okay.
but I'm just surprised.
I don't know. I don't really trust those stats. We need to do more research.
Right.
Tune into the next podcast. Maybe we'll give you an update of the TV show standings, the real TV show standings.
Right.
But that's going to do it for us today. Hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Later.